Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
Okay, behind this nondescript door is welcome to 1979. And if you don't know what that is, then you're going to find out. Whoa. Look. And a Webcore tape recorder. I think I have the place to myself. Okay. I'll do this. My handwriting is terrible. Look at, see, this is the difference between somebody who's got good handwriting and someone who doesn't. But that's the way it goes. And this is someone's living room. Oh, this is more great stuff as you walk in here. A collection of great stuff. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. We'll just keep walking around. And here's a studio.
Hi.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm Michael Fremer.
Bobby, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is our mastering suite.
Yes, that much I did figure.
Yeah.
Wow, this is nice. It's an SX68. I've never seen an SX68. I've seen an SX70 and a 74.
So that 68 is actually to the specs of a 74, but it's obviously the 68.
And a VMS 70.
Mm-hmm. Our 74 is out for repair right now.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you about to cut a lacquer?
I am, yeah. I'm actually about to cut a reference lacquer, a 12-inch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's Chris?
That was a good question. He might be up in his office.
Yeah, because I told him I was coming. He said, come on over.
Yeah, he might be up in his office or up in plating.
And where are these lacquers from? Are these from the Japanese company?
They are, yeah. There are reference lacquers. This box is actually from 2021. It's got some watermarks on it, so I might not use this one.
Ah. So you're cutting this just as a reference lacquer?
Yeah, so now that... I mean, there's still a lacquer shortage, but we've gone... Our supply's gone a little bit better.
I find that no one's complaining about not being able to get lacquers at this point.
Yeah, so we're starting to offer reference lacquers again, which is nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. Isn't that the greatest Scotch tape dispenser?
It's the best.
I love that.
It's so cute.
I have one, and I keep saying, gee, I wish I had a use for Scotch tape right now, because I want to use that thing.
Oh, really?
I have very little use for Scotch tape. Right
Well, it's funny, because, like, I rarely use it. It's just kind of there as decoration.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's
I think the last, like, 2 days, Chris and Yoli have needed to use it multiple times a day. It's just been really funny.
And what is this music that you're... Jason Carter?
Yeah, it's some bluegrass music. It's pretty good, yeah. I already cut side B, so I'm about to cut side A.
Can I stay and watch a few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Are you cleaning the cutting stylus?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you change that?
Well, this is our diamond stylus from Maishank, which is a guy in France.
Uh-huh.
And his are actually supposed to last about 100 hours, which is great. So we're about halfway through our use right now, and it's been perfect. But sometimes, I mean, if we're using other styli, it might be 1 to 25 hours.
Yeah.
So we have to change it maybe once a week. Turn on.
Did you have much traffic here from the show?
Yeah, we've done a couple of tours. We had 2 today.
Good.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a digital file. You don't have a preview head on a tape recorder.
No, so we're doing our program and preview through the DAW. So I've got my program here, my preview on this bottom
and
screen.
it sees in advance of what the cutter head's going to see, and
yep. So it's this is at 33, so it's 1.1 seconds ahead of the program material. Yep. So we do get projects sometimes that come on tape, and they do want completely analog computer bypass, which we're able to do. But for most of these, we just do everything in the box.
It's not often you can walk into a place and
be able to do that.
Someone's cutting a lacquer.
Yeah.
Like, as you get there.
No, you lucked out.
It's just a strobe light to check your speed.
Yeah, to see if it's locked.
Yeah.
So this is locked at 33 right now. And I already, because this is a 12-inch, I don't have room to calibrate my grooves, so I did it on a test lacquer first. So I already know how they're going to look.
So this is 12-inch single is what it is?
No, so this is, it's to emulate like an actual record.
Oh, I see. These are 12 inches. It's not a full-size lacquer is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not
it's an acetate for a test listen.
Yes, yep. So I'm going to cut the full record, but it's not going to be used for production.
And that system automatically cuts the leading groove?
Say it again?
The system automatically cuts the leading groove?
Yep, so we have an auto drop button.
Yep.
So the cutter head's dropped, but it's not cutting yet. So once I press fast, it'll go in and drop it where it needs to, and then it'll do a time lead in. Yep.
There's a series of records made in the UK by the Electric Recording Company. Have you heard of them?
I haven't, no.
So they have an old lilac ornament cutting system. It's a little vintage tube cutting system.
Oh, wow.
And they have the leading groove go for a really long time. And the reason they do that is so that the person can lower the stylus onto the record and have time to get in their listening chair before the music starts. I like that.
That is cool.
Are we going to hear music?
Yeah, I just dimmed it. Yep, very bluegrassy.
And there it goes.
Yep. So once I finish this side, I'm gonna send it off for approval, and then we'll cut the production or the master lacquers.
And who was going to be testing this in here?
Citizen Idol.
In Nashville.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I think I should. And your name?
Bobby.
Okay, Bobby.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Frommer.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Here's Chris.
How are you, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
You just
too.
snuck in and went right to work, huh?
I'd shake your hand, but I got both my hands full, so I won't.
Cool.
Now we'll stop this.
So this building that you're in was built in 1953 as a record pressing plant.
Really?
Yeah. It was called NTC, and then GRT bought them, and GRT was based out of California.
I know GRT. Did you know that I had this adventure with GRT? The woman whose husband was named Aiken, who was the tape op for GRT, did all the tape stuff for tape duplication for cassettes and for reel-to-reel stuff.
Yep. 8 tracks.
All of that. He was the tape guy. He worked at Ampex for years, and then he's got dementia, and she found me on the internet and got in touch with me and said she has all these tapes from GRT that are sitting in storage, and she wants to sell them. Can I help her? And it was like, a woman in distress. And I'm thinking, GRT, they owned the chess catalog. I think maybe you and me would like some of these tapes. I said, if you fly me out, I'll look over everything and tell you what it's worth. So she flew me out. This is on my YouTube channel. You can watch them.
Sweet.
And there were a lot of great tapes in there. There was only one really good chess title. There was a good Argo title, and a lot of really other interesting stuff. There was a copy of Dark Side of the Moon transferred in 1978, and not played since 1978.
Wow.
And we put it up, and they digitized it for me, and it sounds incredible. And I contacted James Guthrie, said I have this tape. He never got back to me. So that whole bunch of tapes got sold to I'm not saying who, but this guy bought another $25,000 or $30,000 worth of incredible tapes.
Wow. So a lot of the chess catalog was pressed here, right? And Leonard Chess would come down and listen to test pressings. I've heard this from
here
here in our kitchen, actually. So through the years, people that used to work here stop by to see what's going on. They're thrilled it's a studio. It's thrilled we're doing vinyl stuff. So they tell us stories and send us photos. This is our recording studio, live floor. All the wood is here from the 50s. This used to be their offices. You can kind of see where they used to have their little stanchions. The control room is above us, and the reason being is because it's big. It's 1,200 square feet of a control room. Most control rooms are small.
Of course.
I spent about a decade as a freelance engineer in different studios, so I kind of had a mental list of when I have my own studio, it's going to be front door load in, no reception area, big control room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the studio itself is about 6,500 square feet, and it's one studio, not a studio A, not a studio B, just one studio.
Right.
This whole building is 33,000 square feet. I lease about 15,000 of that, which houses the studio, vinyl mastering, Mara machines, which we'll see, and electroplate. So
right. It's like tightly in a residential area.
Yeah.
I wondered whether I was coming to the right
kind
place.
of poke into it. Yeah. This was an industrial neighborhood. All the houses were people that worked at the factories that were here.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So we do a lot of live tracking. We do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-piece bands, all live, but everything's isolated. So they all are physically in here: drums, bass, guitar, keys, singers across the hall. And we have other rooms that are large. We put their guitar amps.
It reminds me of Motown studio.
It is. It's this classic shoebox shape. It sounds fantastic. Highly technical. It looks old school, but behind the walls are all the right wire, and guitars can plug into there and get piped in different rooms. And then we can see what's going on upstairs via cameras.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you.
That's a lot like the Motown setup.
Yeah. As long as they can see everybody. Right. I'll just kind of walk you through these rooms, and we'll go upstairs. So again, all this wood was here. That's the vocal booth for when we're tracking. Nice and big.
Sounds good in here?
It really does, yeah.
Be my love. Yes, it does.
Yeah. We have bigger rooms upstairs for more final vocals and stuff, but nice big rooms for guitar amps here and here.
Leslie.
Yep.
And a hidden Studer.
That's our preview deck for cutting lacquers off of tape, which we do a lot of.
So you roll it in there when someone,
Yep.
An A80, that's nice.
Yep. And then this is one of our 2 pianos. This used to be my office, but I moved upstairs because there's always recording going on in here. And it gets used a lot for photo shoots because it's
got such great ambiance in here.
This is a late night, drink whiskey, conquer the world room, you know?
This is like a...
That is unique. My dad found it. This is a radio, wire player, and 45 player. Isn't that crazy?
That I've seen a bunch of those things.
I've never seen a combo unit like that. And it's heavy. This thing weighs about 90 pounds, so it's tube.
It's a Sears Silvertone. Yeah, I've never seen one like that either. That is cool. Compact discs, never mind.
And again, you can kind of see the scope of it. You know, it's just a nice playground for bands and artists.
Oh, yeah.
Watch your step here, Michael, as we right up threshold. Again, a lot of studios, in my opinion, don't leave room for artists to be artists. So we've got a nice artist lounge here.
Okay, so is this an AC-15?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to a garage sale. I was driving by and I spotted an AC. It was an AC-30, as it turned out.
Yeah. Okay.
On the stand, on the metal stand with the wheels. I paid $5 for it.
Oh my lord.
Okay, now I'm going to turn this off for a second.
This family farm I used to work on as a kid, big farm, their motto was everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
Yeah, that's right.
it.
That's it.
That's his one.
That was his one. I will never talk to that guy. He keeps trying to be my friend, and no.
So artist lounge, people can hang out, just be people. We don't really record in this room. We have a slide that comes from upstairs to downstairs, right there, which is kind of fun.
Cos Pro 4As.
Yeah.
You got all the way, man.
All the cool stuff.
What is that?
It's one of those beatbox things, you know that people used to have in their homes, so you could just like make different sounds with it, banjo, just kind of.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A clavinet D6.
Yeah.
How many years did it take you to accumulate all of this great stuff?
Still doing it, man.
This
is a nice token on the wall here. One of our favorite parties we had. We listened to Dark Side of the Moon in quad during a party, and Alan Parsons joined us afterwards to talk about it. But as we listened,
cool.
I had 4 people painting different paintings.
Oh.
And that was their, interpretation. So.
And what is that?
It's a slide from upstairs to downstairs.
Is that for your child, or is that for...
No, A whole bunch of people just went down on my last tour.
I love it.
It's an adult, man. This is where adults get to be kids, man.
You know, there was an album by Medicine Head called Dark Side of the Moon that came out before Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
I did not know that.
It was produced by Keith Relf.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a copy of that.
So now we're heading up into more recording spaces. There's about 100 places to plug microphones in throughout our studio.
This is incredible.
Upstairs vocal booth. We can do acoustic guitar in here. There's a room behind you. We can put guitar amps in. You can be physically in the control room.
Play a piano. I had one of these at home.
So that's at 1890s. Actually.
Yep. I had one at home. I had tons of rolls.
So I went through a music education class. Well, more like a year-long networking class. And we went to the First Amendment Center and they talked to us. And I learned something. So you know the mechanical royalties?
Yeah.
You know, that are attached to records and CDs and cassettes?
Right.
That came from these rolls.
Really?
So, the gentleman or team that developed this roll, right? So the idea is, this is a mechanical representation of the music.
Right.
Well, songwriters didn't get paid initially. And like, that's our song that they're playing. And they're like, no, it's not. Went to the Supreme Court and said, this is a mechanical representation of the song. The songwriter should get paid. This is where mechanical royalties came from.
Oh, for a literally mechanical thing. That's why
I never understood that term.
Yeah, me neither.
That's why. Because it's mechanically playing this song.
This looks a lot like the player piano we had. The same kind of chain and these bellows.
Yeah.
And the pedals are down there.
Yep. And everything, all the controls are here.
Yep. We had ours electrified.
Yeah.
They put a motor in it with bellows. It was pretty cool to have.
So it's great.
Oh, I remember the name of the guy who did it. Who came and did it. There was a guy in New York named Herb Sheldon, and he had a television show, and he had the Ricky Ticky piano, whatever it was called. and so when ours blew a bellow, my father called up this television station and got the guy's name, and he came over and fixed ours up. Frank Poslednik. I'll never forget the name. It's one of those things.
This is Jeremy. Here's our head engineer.
Hi, Jeremy.
How's it going?
Good. Nice to meet you.
And this is our control room.
Michael Fremer.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
Yeah. So again, this is a rather large control room as studios go. I really wanted this with our own place.
And who makes this board?
This is an MCI console from the late 70s.
Yeah, it looks familiar to me.
Yeah, and we restore it. We, use it all the time and do routine maintenance on it. We got a Trident sidecar, and then the television screens let us see what's going on downstairs.
The infamous Yamaha NS10Ms.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't have the toilet paper modification.
No, these are the good ones. Yeah.
Is better?
Yeah. They're a little smoother.
Because the original one was.
Yeah, that's the ones that use toilet paper. The metal dome is the metal shield is a dome. These are squared, so these are they modified the tweeter after the
Good for them.
Yeah. So tons of outboard gear. We've got tons of vintage mics and new mics, and we can record on one of our restored machines, analog tape machines, or Pro Tools, or both, or a combination of. We can record direct to disc here, which is very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is your collection of.
Yep. I've got another 500 or so at home. And then there's our tapes. Yeah.
Oh. I'm not even going to start looking through the records, because that way, if I did that, I would never be able to go anyplace, so I won't do that.
And they're annoyingly alphabetical. I call it party alphabetical. So, like, Don Henley might be under D, he might be under H, he might be under E for Eagles. You just never know.
You never know.
You never know. Party alphabetical. So, this is one of our, we'll see more machines here in a minute. So this is a company I own that restores these machines. So what Jeremy's doing now is we do a lot of tape archiving for people. A lot. So this is a reel that was recorded probably mid-90s.
96.
96, boom, nailed it.
Nashville.
So we archive it to Pro Tools.
And who is this? Somebody we know?
Don't know.
We typically don't.
Don't say.
Yeah, we typically don't.
Yeah. We usually, most of our input intake has an NDA attached to it. So.
And did you have to bake that tape first, or?
Yes,
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have a facility here to do that?
Yeah,
or?
I'll show you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we have a proprietary process I can kind of skim over.
I should have known.
Yeah.
We bake most of our tapes that we do for archival purposes.
Yeah.
They usually need it.
So we do, this is a 4-reel project. We've got a
I can't look at it yet.
75 reel project to do.
It won't use it. If it shows up on there, I won't use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, and this, watch your step there. This is the top of the slide.
Oh.
Yeah.
When did you put that in?
A few years ago. It's been a big hit.
And do you buy a pre-made? Slides or us on Amazon?
On Amazon. So.
No recording equipment, musical instruments, or drinks on slide, please.
And this room we use for drums or horns. It's got a real 60s sound. People look at it.
Or shuffleboard. Come on, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Or shuffleboard.
People think it's going to be like the John Bonham, you know, When the Levee Breaks sound, but actually it's like a 60s kind of floppy drum sound, which is really cool. As I mentioned, one of our ISO booths, you can put guitar amps in here and be in the control room.
Now, is that picture was when this was a...
No, that's a church down the street.
Oh.
That's now not there.
I see.
Yeah. We have a game room, bar for parties, phone booth, another restroom back there.
With a jukebox.
Jukebox.
A CD jukebox.
Actually, it has records. It has a CD on the outside. We have no idea why.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I've never seen that particular brand. It's an AMI. I know the brand.
Yeah. So it's got a CD, but when it lifts up, it has records. And there's even one spinning.
It just sits there and spins at the end?
Yes. Yeah.
That's not right.
And this purple one is Purple Rain.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Huh. It's so funny it's got CDs on top. Makes no sense. And a pinball machine.
Pinball. It's a Matihari.
A ballet.
1978.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that machine actually.
So, foosball. I was at a hotel in LA last week, and they had an 11-station foosball table.
Whoa.
It was huge. So now I'm jealous. That's most of the studio. There's two other things that are studio attached.
Wow.
This is our warehouse for Mara machines. So I acquire machines, warehouse them, take an order, pull the machine out, restore it. We'll see it at the actual shop.
Wow.
This is our tape baking station. So people talk about the smell of analog tape a lot. So much so that one of my pandemic downtime moments is I made a candle. I had a candle made that smells like analog tape. So when you burn this candle, it smells exactly like warm analog tape.
Oh, that is so cool.
I sent them a real tape with baking instructions. I said, put it in the oven for this long at this temperature. Smell that. Make me a candle.
And how do they formulate? They just know they're
it's a company, yeah. So they sent me 2 versions.
Or something?
Yeah. So they sent me 2 versions. I set up 2 ovens in 2 rooms, and had candles, and had our staff do a smell test.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we sell these by the dozens. People love them. So this room back here.
Wait, you're moving too fast.
Sorry. Yeah.
There's too much here to look at.
Yeah. True.
Oops.
So these will be machines one day once we get an order for them. We restore each machine per order.
What is this, MCI?
This is all MCI stuff. Yep. So we have motors, rebuilt motors. And
So would you say you could pretty much rebuild any machine? You can get the parts and rebuild any machine that there is.
Yeah, and we'll see our shop at the next stop. So, but this is just our warehouse.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I have two. I have a Revox A700 and a B77.
Oh yeah.
So the A700, I had someone inspect the heads, and mechanically it works great, but I have to change all the capacitors. So I got a capacitor kit from somebody in Australia. You probably know all these different people. And I have to find the time to do it, and I will find the time to do it.
Okay. Cool. So this is our archive room, our dedicated archive room. So we have all the machines that just live in here that are calibrated for certain tapes. So we can move quickly through our like a whole library of tapes.
Rather than having to...
Yep. And then they're all patched into this computer. I've got another, that's our 1990s station over there with a DAT and a cassette and ADATs. So I can routinely have 2 or 3 engineers in here working on different projects. So this is one person's project here.
I know that studios.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it, but
Yeah.
Mad Hatter Studios. I knew that studio.
So this gentleman sent us his whole catalog, and we're archiving it. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a blast.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that keeps us really busy. And then this way, we're going to enter. Watch this little slope here. We're going to enter Mara machines. Yeah, take it easy, John. So this is Mara machines, right? And that's kind of how we met through Chad.
Yes.
So we typically service studio clients and artists and archival houses. What Chad Kassem got me into is the home hi-fi market,
Right.
which we do some of. We focus on MCI machines solely. We do every format, right? 1/4" 2-track, 1/2" 2-track, 1/2" 4-track, 1" 8-track, 2" 16, 2" 24. And we're even making new boards for these machines.
Wow.
So our business model is we take these completely apart, restore them, and then they leave here with a warranty and lifetime support.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you buy a machine that we didn't restore and you want it fixed, we will restore it completely. It'll leave here a Mara machine, or we don't touch it. We don't just send you a part or try to fix this, because what we've learned is if you buy a machine, much like a car, an unrestored car, the problems could be.
Oh yeah.
But if we ship a restored machine to Australia and they have a problem, the solution is going to be really quick because we've already done all the legwork here.
And then you can send them the part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're just wasting time.
Yeah, and no one's happy. So this is a completed 2-track machine. So we paint the top and brand it and badge it, and we even make new output cards. So from the factory, these are transformerless. So we have the transformerless design in here, and you can add an input transformer and add an output transformer.
Okay.
Yeah, and that just drops in. So these we sell to people who don't have our machines, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to start to service more people. So this has been
more and more people are recording to tape now. Are you finding?
Yes. So we sell. I think we've been doing this 15 years. The last 5 or 6 years, we've been doing 60 machines a year.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. We have a map. We kind of keep up with it, but
A lot of Europe.
A lot of Europe. Yeah. A lot of Europe. We would be in Australia way more. We would be in Norway and Sweden way more, but their import taxes are so high. Sweden and Norway have a 50% VAT.
Whoa.
Yeah. So global commerce affects my commerce. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. And right now shipping rates are kind of putting the brakes on a little bit. You know.
Not much in America.
Oh no! Look at we have a dedicated map.
Oh, I was wondering. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. So we've got 2 in the New York Public Library. We've got a lot in different archival houses around the country. Because we're so familiar with tape and how tapes get archived, they buy machines from us, right? Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you specialize in MCI?
Yes.
Or if I go into another room, it's all going to be Ampex or no?
Nope, we only do MCI.
MCI.
Yep.
Okay.
And then last but not least, electroplating. The guys have already gone. They left at 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which allows us to talk.
Yes.
So this is the second step of making a vinyl record. Not many people see this. Through making vinyl, we've had tours all week because we really want people to see this and understand it. I don't know how much you want me to go in depth here.
I know this process. I think most of our viewers probably just give an overview. Most of them, I think, they know.
Cool. I have some props here. So a lacquer comes from us from downstairs or everywhere. Now that Nashville has been a destination, Sterling brings their lacquers over.
Yeah.
Supersonic does. We have more cutters in town now than ever before. So the lacquer gets sprayed with liquid silver, which acts as a primer coat. Then we make let's talk about like a 3-step process. We make a father, right, which is a thick piece of nickel. Then we make a mother, which is a thick piece of nickel with ridges, with grooves, pardon me, grooves.
And you peel it back. Like,
yep, and I'm going to do that in a second if you want to see it.
Yeah.
And then we make stampers off of that. And these have ridges, not grooves.
Right.
And then we form this to be a certain profile to fit a press.
Yep.
So we're small. We have 16 stations. We run typically 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And our main proposition is cutting and plating. We go to a place in the country you can send a WAV file, a digital file, we can ship a stamper. And of course we take outside lacquers too.
And you also have to know what kind of press they're putting it on.
Yep. Yeah, we have a whole room for that. Yep. Yep. So.
And this is upstairs. We're upstairs now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you have to bring all these chemicals upstairs. Mm-hmm. How do they get?
Well, we're built into a hill. So there's nothing below us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
I was going to say, I just can imagine hauling up corrosive chemicals.
No, and there's a loading dock to our left. So, no, we're on slab. So.
And I mean, you have to have like the EPA approval for all this kind of stuff.
Actually, we're classified as a extremely low emitter, so we don't have any EPA requirements.
And the city of Nashville has some inspection process for this?
We have, so our environmental impact is very, very low, right? All these are closed cells. The only thing we emit is humidity. The baths are maintained, nothing gets dumped. All the water is deionized that we spray with. Any wastewater is collected and filtered and comes out cleaner than tap water and then goes down the drain. Yep.
That's incredible.
So all we do is take nickel pellets, dissolve them, make nickel stampers.
Now, nickel pellets were in short supply recently, or?
It just required a larger supply of money to buy them.
Oh, okay.
Is how I
like everything else right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we have got a library of all of our projects, so people need a repress, we go get the mother or father and make more projects. And then you talked about forming the stampers to a press. That happens in this room. So this room works counterclockwise. We sand, we center, we trim, we form the outside, we form the center corner. Here.
And this is for the Viral Tulex.
Yep. That's the
newer presses.
The two main ones now. Right. So luckily our PA has decided to only do 2 profiles, thank goodness. We used to have 3 centering devices, 5 different stations for forming. It was like a matrix.
So if someone has a warm tone press, can you do that?
Yes, that's viral.
Okay.
Yep. So there's only 1 outside profile now, thank God, and 2 center profiles. Okay. This used to be what we had to deal with, all of those different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So training in here has gotten very simple. I can train new people, and because there's very few variables now.
Yeah. And there's air ventilation in here to get.
Yeah, so when we're operating this machine, our employees wear respirators. This has a downdraft table, which pulls air down. Yeah. Because there is nickel dust that comes off it, so they wear respirators. So we deal with OSHA a lot on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I tried to go to a automatic back sander, but by hand it works a lot better.
Better?
Yeah. You have to touch it, you really do. Our guys are like, we don't like it.
It's a skill set.
It is, yep. So everything gets weighed and shipped. So we weigh every stamper, that tells us the thickness. And we want plus or minus 5 grams of our target weight. Yep. So, highly accurate. Yep, these are the plants we deal with. Not every plant, by design, but a good number of them. So
and it's very, in fact, butchered meat here.
Yeah, exactly.
You just pull this off, put the meat on there. And
we throw some candy in with our stampers.
Yeah, why not?
Press operator.
Why not?
They need to eat. So if we made analog tape and pressed records, it would be from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Are you going to get into making analog tape business?
Nope. No, our friends at HR do that. You should take that tour.
Where's that?
It's in York, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's not far.
Yeah. So it's fascinating. Yeah. So 16 stations. We like to produce about 800 to 1,000 structures a month.
Wow.
Yeah, which is not a lot. Well, I mean, I guess you can talk to you know. I mean, RTI has twice as much as we do.
Yeah.
So, those are some etchings we've done.
Okay, cool. Who does that artwork?
Mainly Dan Emery does it, or artwork gets submitted to us, and then we etch it. So these are actually mothers, so you can read it. We just for display made mothers. So that's my favorite one over there. And then this one is really cool too. This one we etched and then cut a song into it. So it's got a song in there. That was for a record store day.
It does?
Yeah. See that? See the song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then and the etching doesn't play because it's below the.
Right. Well, it changes the sound a little bit.
Right.
But this is obviously an art piece.
It's for fun.
Yeah, it's for fun. Yeah.
Cool.
So. Yeah.
This is great.
It's cool.
More than I was expecting. I didn't know what I was expecting.
I know, right? So. Yeah. So we get to touch music in a lot of different places, you know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the clients that buy these have never, most of the time, used one before, so we educate them. So, yeah.
Amazing. And are new old machines coming in all the time, or you find out about them?
Yep. They find me. People say, "I've got this machine." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll buy it."
What percentage of these machines were scrapped when digital happened? Just
a high percentage.
It's just scrapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear horror stories. 20 machines going to the dump of all makes and models.
Yeah.
You know, tube mics getting thrown away. You know what I mean? Lathes.
Yeah.
Getting, you know, I talked to older engineers who sold their Neumann lathes for $2,000 or $3,000. You know.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, but this is where we breathe life into
I think it's
old
fantastic.
things again. So, you know, yeah.
This is great.